Guys, today we are inside the kitchen and I'm going to give you a behind the scenes look at how we have been growing some of the seeds that are going to be going outside in our pot in the ground soon, and also into our hydroponic system. What you're looking at right now is lettuce. It's been about 6 days since I started germinating these seeds, and then this morning I just planted them in these egg cartons. Normally I like to put them in egg cartons because I prefer that the roots grow inside here and around in here, and then I can just pull it out, put it into the ground. But I sprouted a little bit more lettuce than I thought I did, and so I also have to put some in egg carton tops too. And this isn't too bad. I'll space them out. Of course, I have a little bit more dirt in here, so you don't see as many sprouts sprouted. But there are about 18 in here. So here's what I have planted this morning. With the exception of the tubs. Those tubs we'll be using this later. So this is how much lettuce I have sprouted right now. The lettuce started as these tiny, tiny little seeds. And what originally happened was we had planted carrots, and we planted them in the ground in rows. And it rained for about 2 weeks straight. And we discovered that the rain had moved the seeds around, and so when they started to sprout, they were no longer in distinguished rows, and so we decided there had to be a better way to plant these seeds for the lettuce. And so we decided we were going to germinate them, but we weren't going to do it the normal way we do. We were going to put them on cotton rounds and put them under a grow light, and sure enough, they sprouted. So here is what remains from what I have already planted this morning. I'm going to show you how I plant a couple of them, just so you can get the general idea. But what I did was I got these cotton rounds at Dollar Tree. And it was $1 for 80 of them. And I just put them, I got them wet. I put about 10 seeds on one compared to the one my husband asked me to do. I guess I wasn't listening, and they sprouted, sure enough. And so now I'm just transferring them to dirt to let them begin getting a stronger root system, and then eventually hopefully moving them into the ground. So we watered so in the 6 days we probably watered twice. These cotton rounds hold water really well. And so they're still wet. And so all I've done is in my tray, this is the top of an egg carton. Like I said, I don't normally like to plant in these, but I am out of egg cartons because I sprouted so many lettuce. Right here you can see I've already planted one. And what I've done is I have just put holes where there's about 12 holes. I have 11 more to go. And I just used my finger and I just kind of put the holes where I wanted to plant the sprouts. So all I do is I'll just grab one, and you can see right here. I'm going to put the root down, and then I'm just going to cover it up, and it's right there. And so that's all I've been doing. And I did this with bush beans. I had germinated bush beans, and I did the exact same thing, except to germinate these, I went over to my windowsill, and I have some seeds germinating right now. These are actually more green beans, but what I do is I just take a napkin, I get it wet, I plant about 4 to 6, or don't plant them. I set them on the napkin, fold it over, put it in a bag, and I leave it in my window right here, and it takes about, I want to say 2 to 3 days before it sprouts, and I feel comfortable enough to put it into some dirt. So if we come back over here, some of the stuff that we are growing, we actually bought from the store, some of the vegetables, and all we've done is take the seeds, germinated them. Here's a perfect example. My mom actually did this for us. These are lemon trees that are growing, and of course we're going to give some of these away because we don't need 8 lemon trees. But all she did was take the lemon seeds, wash them off, let them dry for a day. She pulled the outer casing off until you got to the seed in the center, and then she put them in the same bags that I have on my windowsill. And it took about 3 days. They had roots, and then she said, why don't you plant them in some tubs and see if they sprout? And sure enough, they have. This has probably been about 2 weeks. And so they're doing pretty good. But they don't go under the grow light. We just let the natural sun take care of them. And so they're actually doing pretty good here. So that's what we've been doing for our lettuce. And I wanted to give you a look real fast if you'll walk with me outside. It's raining, but I wanted to show you those bush beans that I germinated. I have planted over here in one of our plots. And you will see they started the same way. And they are growing like crazy. And we planted these about 2 days ago, and they're about twice as big as they were when I planted them. So that's what we have been doing when it comes to our seeds, and I have found this to be very successful. If you guys have any tips, I would love for you to leave them in the comments. I'm always up to changing things to make this growing process even better.